Now, we've had contractors, my friends. We've had attorneys. We've had doctors. We've had cashiers. We've had stay-at-home moms and dads. And this morning, we have the pleasure of meeting a machinist who has grown his business TikTok profile, I believe, to 29,000 followers. I mean, I'm starting to really believe that it doesn't matter where you come from or what skills you had before you got here. You can do this if you really apply yourself. Let's hear how Eric did it. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks, brother.
How are you, man?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I am. I'm good. And I'm interested to hear about your story and what brought you from, the world in trade of machining now to online marketing. Seems like quite a the opposite end of the spectrum there.
Absolutely. Well, through various moves, and I mean literal moves, my wife and I have put ourselves in a position where we're pretty much debt-free, and we've been able to keep her as a stay-at-home mom. Now, last year, we moved to Sault Ste. Marie here, about 7 hours away from where we lived, and I got a job in a machine shop, and not afraid to say it, 26 bucks an hour, which is not phenomenal. But when we moved here, it took care of our household needs.
Mm.
And in that year, with the not the supposed 5.7% that people are talking about, but with the way inflation has truthfully gone, with the price of gas almost doubling, groceries, everything, that didn't cut it. So I had to look for something online to make ends meet. And that's where we're at right now.
It's funny when I first started being basically an 8th grade dropout, but I officially did make it to 9th. My vocabulary was rather small, and I thought that making the ends meet was, you were so poor you had to go to the grocery store and you could only afford to buy the ends of the meat. You couldn't get the middle of the meat.
Oh man, Dave.
I know it's embarrassing. But
nothing to be embarrassed about, man.
Here we are.
Here we are.
So, what have you discovered? Have you discovered that this is something that you want to continue to do part-time, full-time, as a phase to get through this situation that we're in right now? Talk to us about what's different now and how do you see things moving forward?
Well, I'm going to go way back in history and be extremely brief here, but I remember, I would say 25 years ago, I was involved with Amway. I'd always been looking for something to do at home, but never really been successful with it until I found Legendary. But I've always had that passion to be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
And finally, it's coming about now with 4 kids, 3 of them still at home. I'm not there yet, but that's still, so this is not a phase or anything like that. This is something where it's like, all right, I'd love to go through the kitchen, grab my coffee on the way down to the office. That's my commute. And, do about 2 to 3 hours of work and then have the rest of the day to spend with my family.
That's my commute right here. And I'm blessed enough and lucky enough right here to have my wonderful wife bring me a cup of coffee.
Right now, my wife has taken her mom out grocery shopping, so she's not home.
That's very sweet of her. It is a beautiful thing, to be able to stare at your wife all day long. I just, you know what I mean? I just, I love it. I love this. I love this line of work. You know what I mean? I probably am annoying to her quite often because, you know what I mean? I'm chasing her around the house.
We guys normally are, aren't we?
Chasing her around the house. She's probably wishing that I did have something different to do. So awesome, man. So how did you get, how are you doing so well on TikTok? That looks like you've kind of planted your flag there. At least you're focusing there, or you have been focusing there. Or I don't know. Tell us the story. I mean, did you have a video that went viral, or tell us how the journey's been since you put the rubber to the road?
Here's the thing, and to be honest with you, I don't know how. Like, one of my videos hit 1.3. It might even be at 1.4 million views right now. And like, you can ask my wife. It drove her nuts for about 4 or 5 days because I kept getting comment after comment after comment, and I'd be spending time just trying to respond to all those comments because people were asking me how to do it. But if you look at that video, I mean, I've tried trending sounds, I've tried trending effects, you name it. That video was me standing in front of a 12-foot snowbank. I gave a 10-second little speech, and I said, if you want to know how, ask me how in comments. It went nuts.
Yeah.
And I find that those videos, just a quick little blurb, nothing trending. I might use a trending sound here and there, nothing trending, but the ones where it's just me speaking, telling people about what I do and how they can do the same thing online, those are the ones that are working.
Yeah. And have you tried to recreate sort of that same video and then it not worked? Because the reason why I'm asking is because I feel like people are looking always for an exact, if I do this exactly, it's going to work.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't. And now there's something wrong with me, or it's not going to work for me, or I knew it. So I just wonder if you could, have you tried to recreate it and it didn't work? And what do you know? What can you tell us about that? I mean, why
I
is
did
that?
recreate it about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, and I only got 10,000 views on it. Right.
There you go.
And so I think it's the most important thing that I find, and it's the same as with you, what you teach in the 15-day challenge and in the other programs that we go through, it's just relate to people's pain, relate to people's story.
Yeah.
And that's what I try and do. That's and I'm sure you know this, it's my story is being 50 years old and royally screwed when it comes to retirement age. So that's a majority of my videos is relating to 40 plus that have absolutely nothing ready for retirement and they need to do something. So and that's it. I don't know what else to say on that one.
Well, you're just it's well put, because you've got a message, you've got a and I think it's really important to take away from this conversation this morning that you really do you have a message, and it's to a specific audience, and it relates to your life. You're able to tie it back to your life, and that's what I've been able to do over the last decade in this industry. Is it was never really any formal marketing skills that I can point back to and say it was that skill of running paid ads, or it's never been that for me. It's always been exactly what you just outlined that has made me successful, is that I have a message, it's for a specific audience, and it ties back to my story. So it really, I can pull passion, I can pull authenticity, and I can speak from experience. And I am talking to people who don't like their job, don't have enough money, don't have enough time with their family, too much pain, too much, in all the pains of sitting in traffic and all those things that we all are familiar with. And I've not deviated from that in over 10 years. I've never come out with fitness training or with another message. And that's good news for all of you, because the message has always been the same. In the make money on, like, if that's the niche that you decide to go into, the business online marketing, make money online niche, the message has never been this different. It's never
Yep.
been different through recessions, crazy economies. I mean, you just take little tidbits like I've done recently. Maybe you guys have heard me say, hey, do you want to never ensure that you're never deemed non-essential? Do you want to take control over your future and not put it in a boss or a president's hands? So I'm taking from a current event, and I'm putting pressure on the lack of money and the lack of time and the lack of just, the pain of getting up and leaving family and not coming home till late. But it's never changed. And I just wanna point that out, because what you're doing really is, quote, the secret, not focusing on trying to copy people and then get mad that you don't get that same result or whatever, but you have a message for an audience and it's tied to your story.
Absolutely.
And it's reaching people, right? It's resonating with people, because you're not talking about mansions and Ferraris. You're not talking about things that people can't relate to. Sure, they want it, but they can't relate to that. You're talking about things they can understand, the pain of inflation, the pain of trying to really decide, do you want to buy groceries or do you want to put gas in your tank?
That's actually was one of my posts. I said, I'm not talking about Ferraris, Lamborghinis, mansions, yachts. I'm talking about having a full fridge and pantry, not worrying about putting gas in the car. And I related that to a couple of weeks ago, we went down south to visit one of my daughters for her birthday. That was an 8-hour trip. And I relayed that to the fact that I didn't worry about the tank of gas that I put in the car for that trip.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A tank of gas for a little 4-cylinder nowadays is $100, dude. It's crazy.
I was putting, that is crazy, because my car, which is an 8-cylinder and has got a big gas tank, is what used to be $100. So yeah, it's like people just keep getting pummeled with what happened with the illness, with what happened now with inflation, with what's happening with war, with what's happening with all these things. People feel like they're not understood. People feel like they're being left behind. People feel like nobody cares about them. So when you come along, and here's the other thing, I think, if we go deeper into the psychology of like a human and how they respond to people marketing, a human wants to be understood.
That's it.
They damn sure don't feel like their boss understands them, because the boss doesn't give a fuck about them. The boss just says, I don't care about your family. Be on time, and if you're not, I'll fire your ass and I'll find somebody else to come in and replace you. I don't understand you, and I don't care about you for cheaper.
Yeah.
The world, they don't feel like the world or politicians or anybody else understands them. Now, they're probably feeling misunderstood by friends and family, and they've not even started their business yet. They're in for a real treat. But they're feeling misunderstood, and they're feeling unseen, and they're feeling like nobody gets the pain and the pressure that they feel. And if you can come along on a freaking TikTok video and they feel like this guy understands me, not talk about shit that I can't relate to, Lambos and all this bullshit, but he understands me. He's talking about traffic. He's talking about inflation, groceries. And he's talking about the idea of not having to choose between groceries and filling my pantry. Man, that resonates with people, man. That's the message. That's the message, So good for you, man. You're what you're doing is you're also being real and authentic. And I think this is what I can get on board with being authentic. And I think people get a little confused about, is all you got to do is be authentic and be yourself in your videos. Well, fuck. I know a lot of people who are train wrecks. So you might not want to, but like your life is, you're emotionally volatile, or maybe you shouldn't just, we don't want to go on and just spill our problems and just right. We want to be careful. we have to make it about other people, and we have to be the leader that at least seems like you know where you're going. Because if you don't have that confidence and you're not, you don't seem like you know where you're going, then people are not going to, they're not going to follow, engage. But I really think that the authenticity of you talking about your life,
Yeah.
and telling your story of the retirement piece is something that I think my hope is that a lot of us can learn from that this morning. What is coming up for you right now, and what else is on your head and heart for us to know and learn from you this morning?
Well, one of the things, and actually I was just scripting out a TikTok message, and this was going to be a bit of a longer one, because one of the things that I've noticed about a lot of the posts that are coming out on TikTok is they're talking about make money online, and people think that you have to focus on the make money online niche. Well, I'm helping a guy right now in Manitoba set up a funnel. Like he's going through the 15-day business builder challenge, and he's setting up a funnel in the automotive industry. He has absolutely no passion in showing others how to make money online. And I think in all, there's so much focus, not just in the legendary community, but I mean throughout the entire niche on
You're very
buy
right.
this program and we'll teach you how to sell this program. I'm helping this guy, and as I said, in Manitoba, set up a funnel with, I don't know if you know, like I'm a car buff. I don't know if you've seen my profile picture. It's my Trans Am. And I'm helping him set up a funnel with Summit Racing. It's an online aftermarket parts company. I'm setting one up myself because that's going to be one of my income streams. In Africa, now this fellow, he lives in Nigeria. He didn't have access to Legendary in Nigeria, but I helped him set up a funnel in the housing industry. It doesn't have to be the make money online niche. And that's one of the things that I think I think people are getting away from. Why did I choose this niche? Because I love seeing people get their first bonus check. I love seeing people reach their first milestone. That to me is exciting. That is like, I get so overjoyed with that. When the fellow in Africa created the funnel, I asked him for the link, and I went through and I tested it out with him. It worked. He was so overjoyed. Now he's on TikTok going through and figuring out how he can start marketing what he's passionate about.
Yeah. Look, Eric, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I think a lot of people get into the make money online niche in this community specifically, and even decide to promote Legendary because they see other people doing it. Yep. And it's monkey see, monkey do, and that's not particularly a bad thing at the beginning, right? Because we can see, we can watch like a baby does watch somebody. Oh, they're walking. That's what I did. I was a baby when I first came into this industry, and I literally just watched what other people were doing, like many of us do, and went through a few courses, and here I am. But you're right. There's a lot of different niches. There's a lot of different. We don't force anybody to buy our courses or products if they want to be an affiliate, and if they buy our courses or products, they're not forced to be an affiliate. I mean, that's a personal choice that everybody makes, and what I find is that oftentimes people start in this niche, and then they branch out, or they kind of decide, like, I really do have a lot of knowledge in this particular niche over here. And so I'm going to take these skills that I've been learning, and now I see how I can apply it to my existing knowledge or my existing business. And everybody's journey is a little bit different, but you make a great point. The world, I have a friend that was calling me the other night, and I usually don't take personal, consult calls from friends. I just, unless they really corner me, you know what I mean? But like we're at a party or something and they've just got me cornered. But they have a landscaping business, and I was talking to them about that. There's so many different ways that you can use both, these sales funnels and these platforms. Not even mentioning the business models of selling information, but as you mentioned, the business model of selling cars, the business model of selling any, and here's the other thing that we forget. In the information from any one of those industries can be extracted and sold. And that's what I was trying to tell my landscaping friends the other night. I said, you may think right now that you want to generate leads for your landscaping business, but when you start to see that you can package the information that you have that's special and unique and then sell it to people or sell it to other landscapers or whatever, that becomes really fun too, because all of a sudden your fingernails go from black to clear, right? And you go from 90-degree Florida weather to 72-degree Florida weather, right? Inside with soles of rubber shoes or carpet under your feet.
So true. So very true.
I mean, for me, I was in construction, and what do you think? I would have rather gone and swung the hammer, or I would have rather created a course for contractors on how to get more leads using platforms like TikTok, using platforms like, I mean, and you guys might be saying, oh, good for you, Dave, but every single one of you have that same knowledge to go into, say, hey, Mr. Roofer or whatever, I can help you get more leads. You don't know anything more than I do.
That's exactly it. I think one person, I remember way back when my wife and I were, when our kids were still little, we would go out rollerblading a lot. And one person said, why are you rollerblading? It's not a very effective exercise. And I said, it's the most effective exercise for us. And they said, why? And I said, because we love doing it.
I love that.
If you don't love going to the gym, you're not going to go to the gym. You're going to get you're going to get huge. But if you love going a rollerblading, if you love walking, one person loved skip rope, and he freaking danced with the rope. It was his passion. He didn't have a $5,000 home gym. He had a $7 skip rope. And it doesn't matter what niche you're passionate about. That's the one that you'll be successful in because of that passion. And that's what I find.
I agree. I mean, there's been an argument for many years between some people about, do you really need to be passionate about it to do it? Like, because there's a lot of people and marketers who say, turn your passion into profits, and it's just such a kind of a headline that's buzzy and stuff like that. And then, can you really make money on that niche or not? But, the truth is that I believe I could get behind your statement, and here's why. Whereas I believe that before I was like, oh, wow, should I really ever say that anymore? Because I mean, some niches are just really stupid to go in. You can just clearly see there's no money to be made in there. You know what I mean? Like, that's my point. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to pick up dog shit, I mean, you better be thinking scalability, because if you're going to pick it up one pile at a time, it's not hard to charge high ticket for that. It's like, well, this is a pile. This is going to be $1,000. I'm sorry.
Unless you pile it really high and really deep, brother.
So I think that I can get behind the statement if I say you can literally damn near take any passion that you have, if you combine it with timeless, true marketing principles like what we teach here. And if you do, you'll find out very quickly whether that's a profitable niche or not. I mean, whether you can, because I really do think, and even as I was talking to my friends with a landscaping business, I really do think that not only a lot of the platforms and strategies apply, but also the business strategies of selling something higher ticket. The path to freedom for a small business is to have something that's a significant ticket, because otherwise you literally have to have hundreds or thousands of customers per month, new customers, fresh blood. And that's hard. it's easier for a small business to have less customers, but to have higher prices. It can provide better service. We can take their time, and it just doesn't take as much to be able to get to 5,000-10,000 a month, which is pretty minimum for what most people need to survive and these days anyways.
Yeah.
So you take a landscaper, you take a plumber, you put them through our 15-day challenge. They start to see, oh wow, here's how I can generate leads. Wow, maybe I should be collecting email addresses, right? So I can
Yep.
contact people when I'm low on work, and I can send an email to my list of 500 people who I've done work for, and I can say I'm running a 20% special, or hey, want to replace that sewer line or whatever. I can drum up business. I can communicate with people, and then so on and so forth. But it's amazing really what you can do with this knowledge, Eric. I think that's what we're both trying to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I just had an epiphany right now. Like my industry outside of the affiliate marketing is machining. And I just thought to myself, you said, sell the knowledge. And I'm thinking to myself, damn it, I've got 25 years of knowledge. Why don't I build a course there? Like.
Yeah. Or just simply sometimes, yeah, I mean, you could either go into that niche. I mean, there's so many things you can do. There's so many things you can do. It doesn't have to be complicated. It
No.
doesn't have to be complicated. I mean, I know that we're all stuck on sales funnels and everything, but the fact is that you could actually build a business nowadays without using a sales funnel. I mean, just using the platforms. The reason why I still use sales funnels is because I like to collect email addresses, and I like to follow up via email, because I found in the past that when I don't get an email address, I don't have any other way of contacting somebody if they visited my site. And so I literally every day at the end of the day was left with zero when I wasn't collecting email addresses. And when I started to collect email addresses, I still wasn't making sales, but I at least had a way to follow up and to potentially make a future sale. And that proved to be very, very, very true. But, with some of these other industries, that we're talking about, just coming in and going through this information and understanding how to correctly use these social media platforms. My friend that I was talking about a second ago, and many other people, really just default to posting something on Facebook, or God forbid going live on Facebook. And, Facebook's right now just giving a little bit more exposure organically. But I mean, they've been the shittiest organic platform to post on forever. If you weren't poaching people out of Facebook groups like people do in our Facebook group all day long, then you weren't really making any money on Facebook. Unless you were running ads, because they completely cut down the organic reach on Facebook unless you were working from your personal profile, which, oh, by the way, was against their terms and conditions. So you were fucked, And so I said, hey, I mean, for somebody who has an offline business and you're hunting right now, you need to go from hunted to hunter, or you need to go from hunter to hunted. And one way to do that is you build a big audience on a platform like TikTok or something, and you have people all over the world, all over the country, who love your work and want your work so bad that they'll come to you. They'll pay you to come to them. They'll pay you consults for your knowledge. There's so much that you can do. But right now you're fishing in a very small pool of friends and family who are not very proven to support your business. I can tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you all about that, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you're fishing in a small pool of friends and family, and you need to get out there into a larger audience. Well, but Dave, these people on TikTok, they're not in my local community. How am I going to install grass in their yard or whatever? And it's like, listen to what I just said. There's so many more opportunities to sell courses, to sell consulting and coaching, to be flown out, to be hands-on for a much higher price than what you were charging before, because now you've manufactured your celebrity. You've manufactured your celebrity. You've said, I'm not going to wait for a break. I'm going to create my break by creating content and growing an audience. Now I went from a local nobody to nationwide celebrity almost on
Yep.
TikTok. If you don't think that that's going to bring in so many more financial opportunities in 2022, you're insane. So I told them, even if you're not going to do that and not going to go all in, you should at least start filming and getting good at creating media to post on TikTok, because you may not be willing to do it now, but when your ass still ain't growing your business in 6 months, you're probably going to surrender to it, because guess what? This form of marketing ain't going anywhere. We're not going back to passing out business cards, people.
TikTok is the new business cards.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good point.
As we said, look at some of the videos that are out there. And I'm not talking about the fluff and the junk. I'm talking about genuine people. One of the fellows that I follow, Chris, don't ask me to pronounce his last name.
Mario or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Chris D.
Right? He makes a video, and he's freaking, with that one video, handed out essentially 500,000 business cards.
Exactly. Let me show you something.
Okay.
I had it out because I've been using it a couple. I realized I had it. I was like, look at this gem, nice prop business cards that back in 2008, 2009, I was collecting business cards. I was like, oh, let's exchange business cards, and
Amway days, I know.
Not a single sale. Not a single sale. There's 1,000 business cards in here. Not a single sale from it. And you're right. Chris, yourself, me, we're handing out business cards every day. And as a matter of fact, something that's really hilarious is that I often have, when I'm actually being a regular human being and out socializing, people are like, do you have a business card? I've heard you're a business guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, no, I don't have a business card. Fucking business card. Business cards have never done anything good for me, No. So, but if you want to get on my email list, I'll happily take your email, right? And I'll blast you with the other 100,000 people that I'm blasting at the same time, with a wildly personal email that you'll think I wrote directly from me to you, right?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. That's, that's the way it is nowadays.
Yeah. And even restaurants should be doing that. I mean, I walk into a restaurant all the time and they're not taking either my phone number or my email. They've been forced to now, because a lot of these automated systems like Toast and stuff, that they send out the swiper thing, and it's kind of like a merchant account system and accounting system for restaurants. Well, a lot of restaurants are benefiting from those kind of things, because those systems are now building those kind of communication marketing tools into them, to where, whether the business actually uses it or not is a different thing. But, the world is as a family man and a father, Eric, do you also have a desire to want to be did this last 2020, 2021 wake you up, not just from a financial perspective, but also from a safety perspective, like wanting to be home with family and have the ability to be flexible to where you don't have to go out and particularly be in harm's way, if you will? What did you take away from that, and how did that influence, or was that not really as much of an influencer?
Never really put that into perspective. Never really thought about that. I'll give you a little bit of a background.
Because you were still able to make money during that, right? You still had a job.
Absolutely. And you're going to laugh at this. Before the pandemic, I was still machining, and I got laid off from my job before the pandemic actually hit. But I was working part-time in a pizza shop, a local pizza shop, and there he did delivery, but it was a rural setting. The little town had maybe 1,000 people, maybe 1,500 people in it, but we delivered within a 25-minute radius of the pizza shop. So I was let go from the machine shop, and the boss looked at me and said, well, you know what? The pizza shop needs some renovations done, and I need some help with the prep work. And I started off working there, earning $5 an hour, plus delivery fee and tips.
Hmm.
Well, because of the fact that I fixed his dough machine, I fixed his ovens, his water heater went down, I fixed that. I renovated the front dining room. I did all this work for him. I would do the prep work for him. He upped my pay to $20 an hour. So he paid me for my skills and knowledge, plus the delivery fee, plus the tips. I freaking 35 hours a week. I doubled my pay than the machine shop while working at the pizza shop. Throughout the pandemic, he got busier. My income went higher.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, and that's
it's
why
a testament to skill sets, isn't it, Eric? It's a testament to skill sets.
Absolutely. I was able to diagnose things and figure things out and take it apart and put it together. His dough machine would have cost him about $3,000-$4,000 to fix, because the guy would have had to come 2 hours from Toronto up, charging him time, diagnose it, go back, get the part, come back up, fix it, and then go back. I went in, I charged him $250. He gave me an extra 100 because I did it for him.
Yeah.
And I did it in a day. So all these things, and I've always said, well, no matter what's going on around you, no matter what's going on in the world, the global economy can be tanking. You could see doom and gloom all around you, but you can still create your economy. I'm going to say that again. People can still create their own, their own economy. When the whole world was talking doom and gloom, my income doubled because I opened my eyes. Now, I wasn't doing anything regarding making money online and affiliate marketing then, but I opened my eyes and I saw a need and I filled that need.
I wonder how that applies in online marketing too, because there's a lot of needs and a lot of opportunity all around, all the time.
Yep.
And I actually think, here's my opinion, once you have the glasses, you have the lenses in which you see the world through opportunity instead of through lack and doom and gloom and so forth, it's actually difficult to hold yourself back and not say yes to everything. I have that problem or that challenge on a regular basis, and some might think, and I want to be real clear and loud, some might think that I have more opportunity today than I did back when I first got started, but I'm a little bit more insulated right now, meaning that everybody either doesn't or can't get to me. Meaning, I mean, anybody could message me on social platforms, but believe it or not, I don't get a ton of messages because I think people might think that I'm too far away, don't answer my messages. I don't know why, but I know when I first got started, I still do get 1 or 2 opportunities each week. I had a guy hit me up. I've got several people with some opportunity. Another guy that just hit me up yesterday with a consulting thing, and he paid me for consulting back a couple of years ago, $50,000 or something, and it's pretty. I didn't have to do much, I just had to share knowledge and stuff, and I said no to that. I don't know what, there was no number the other day. It could have been less, could have been a lot more. Here's my point: is that nowadays I have 1 or 2 things that come across my desk each week that I consider. When I first got started, everything was a freaking opportunity. I mean, everything, and so I really had to focus, and I really had to by trial and error. I didn't know what was a waste of time, but I would do something. I would take on a coaching client when I was just strictly focusing on affiliate marketing. And then all of a sudden I'd get a month into with this coaching client. I'd be like, I wish I didn't take on this client, because I got this one client over here that I'm trying to, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to have a coaching business, and if I'm going to try to get lots of clients, and okay, that then will be more worth my time, and that'll be, but I just, because I said yes. Somebody wanted coaching. Okay, I have a coaching program, and now I got this one coaching client over here, or
Yep.
a company wants help with something or whatever, and or a new business opportunity or a new hot deal or a new ground floor or a new this or a new crypto, or and it's like I was a spinning, every day it was something new. And that's why I can talk about this. Every day it was something new. And every day it's a new business. Every day it's a new coaching this. Every day it's a
Yep.
new thing. And I really had to learn how to focus and learn how to say no, and how to really kind of stay consistent. So with you now in this place to where you're getting results, you're finding momentum, you've made some money. How do you deal with all of the distractions? And more specifically, when things aren't going exactly as you would like them to go one day or week, and you see a great marketing message that somebody's promising, this is easier than anything you've ever done before. All good marketing says that, but you've already started here on this path.
Yep.
How do you deal with that when somebody's making a really when a marketer's making a really convincing point in an email or on Facebook, and in that entrepreneur part of you wants to, and multiple streams of income, and
Yep.
holy shit. How do you handle that? How do you handle that?
Okay, it's funny you mentioned that. Yesterday was a down day for me. I posted I think I posted 6 videos, and I think I got a total, with all 6 videos, a total of about maybe 3,000 views. And I think maybe one person entered their email and actually followed through and confirmed and went through into the autoresponder, and it was just like,
shit.
And for me personally, like because my TikTok feed, I would say 90% of it is online marketers. And so I like to watch, I like to catch ideas, I like to see what they're doing, I like to see what works, I like to hear what they're saying, all these different things. But when I'm having a low day like that, you know what I do? I shut off my phone. I shut it off. I put my earbuds in at work, because we're allowed our phones while the machine is running, right? In that one respect, I really appreciate that, because I do a lot of my research at work.
Right.
But if I'm having a really low day, and then say, for example, I see Chris come online and I've had 500 views on one video.
day. He's
Sorry?
at a $10,000 day.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? It's like, oh my God, what am I doing? And to keep from the shiny object syndrome, where it's like, oh, squirrel, to keep my head from snapping and looking at that beautiful shiny object, I shut my phone off. I put my music on, and I focus on me. I then read and start focusing on this thing up here, because if I'm having a day like
cobwebs out of there, right? Just
that's
I
exactly
gotta
it.
clean that thing out every couple of days.
And so when I'm having a bad day like that and I'm looking at shiny objects, I stop, I focus on me, and I just let everything air out. As you say, get the cobwebs out, let it air out, and then
the fog,
the next day, move forward. Because that funk will come through in your videos. This morning, fresh morning, I posted a video, and within an hour I had 2,000 views. Now, I have no idea what's been going on, because we've been here, but the funk was gone. So but whatever state you're in will come out. People aren't stupid.
No, and they can sense it. It really takes discipline, it really takes discipline, folks.
It does.
I mean, all these people that you see on here, it really takes a lot of folks and a lot of discipline, and it takes a lot of remembering that, it doesn't matter what you do, the first month is going to suck, and maybe even
Yeah.
the second month. Brian Burr calls it the valley of despair. I mean, it's just that you're so excited, you're just starting new business, and then it's like you fall off a cliff. All that excitement of buying and all that the dopamine, the adrenaline, you're starting something new, you bought it. That's why we love to buy stuff, guys. Why do you think
It's a
we like
hit.
to go shopping? Why do you think we attend the next webinar, to buy the next course, to find the next guru, we're always looking for something new. We're always looking for someone new. We're always
Yep.
looking for the next hit, the next dopamine hit. That's what we're
Brother,
looking
why
for.
do you think I've got a Trans Am? It was a dopamine hit.
I know. Trust me, I know all too well about that. So, and then you put in you combine that with an addictive personality, and you before you know it, you got 10 businesses. I mean, I have to actively, because I am somebody who will say yes and start things and have just so much going on.
Yeah.
I'm almost, I would say, like militant about it. Almost like, I mean, my default is always no. It's always no. It's never yes.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten me in trouble so many times to just say yes to things, and even say yes to people who are not in business,
Yeah.
just being a yes man and overextending myself and volunteering to do things that then I feel resentful about, that I wish I hadn't volunteered. I had to really, and I have to constantly really be on purpose with my time every day, because I started this business and I said I wanted to spend more time with my family, but I'm
Yep.
over here doing this all the time. Well, I thought you wanted to spend more time with your family, Dave. It's like, so now I've matured a bit more, realized what's important in, this journey. I've been doing this since I was in my early 20s. So I've, really grown up a lot in this industry, and yeah, I've learned that the best thing in the world, the happiest that I've ever been, is right now when I have a singular focus with a community of people that I'm serving and helping. I have investments that I'm taking that money and then putting it to work, like in the cash flow quadrant. I
Yep.
went from I went from employed to self-employed to owning a business, okay, where I have systems and people working for me, leveraging, and
Yep.
then I take the money that I earn from that business and I put it down in investments. For me, those investments are stocks, some real estate, some hard asset, collectibles, things of that nature, some cash. But it's not a complicated,
No.
I'm not fucking uh, you know, Mark Cuban on Shark Tank. I don't want to own 100 businesses. I don't need to be that rich, guys. I'm
No.
not a future billionaire. I don't give a fuck about being a billionaire.
Yeah.
I just care about my sanity and my happiness and my family. That's it. And if I can have a nice watch on my wrist, great.
Yeah.
But if not, or a nice car, you got a car you drive that you enjoy. If I can have a few things in life that I enjoy, I'm getting a new boat. That's kind of one of my big things. I'm, finally bought my first boat. I mean,
Yay.
if I can have a couple of things, but
Yeah.
man, I'll tell you, the sanity of having a business that I can come to work and I know I got a business that I'm focused on every day. It's not 15,000 things. I got investments that are simplified, that I understand, and I'm doing what I said I was going to do with my business, which was spend more time with my family. I've got 2 little ones, so that's my life, and that's what I've come to after a decade in this industry of, all the shiny objects, all the dreams of being a billionaire and being mega rich and living in a mansion and driving 50 Ferraris and all this. And what I've learned is that to have one solid business you enjoy that
Yep.
pumps off good cash flow, and I don't have to have multiple streams, because I don't have to worry. I don't have to live in fear that a business is going to crash or something. I have one good solid business, just like all great entrepreneurs do. Steve Jobs
Yep.
didn't have Apple and Microsoft. Elon Musk has a couple of companies, but for God's sakes, we're not Elon, okay? So I got one business that I focus on. I got some simple I'm not playing cryptocurrency. A lot of you guys are exhausted because you're trying to go through a course and start a business, but you're day trading cryptocurrency in the emotional roller coaster of that. So I stay away from things that suck my emotional energy. And Eric, my point is, this is about enjoying life, not just getting rich. For me,
Well,
anyway.
and that's it. That's one of the messages that I've been talking about. One of the things that when I have a little bit of time with people, when I'm on my lives, I say to people, money doesn't buy you happiness. But if your bills are paid, your car payments are up to date, you've got a full fridge, and you don't have to worry about the electricity being shut off, all of a sudden you've got a little bit of peace of mind where you can start discovering what makes you happy.
And you could enjoy those things that are so important in your
That's
life,
exactly
like
it.
the smile on your child's face,
Right.
instead of worrying if you're going to be able to, put food on the table. You can know that's taken care of, so you can truly enjoy your time. I don't know about you, Eric, but when things are not right in finances or I'm fearful of something, I'm not
Yep.
present with my family. And that's been one of the greatest gifts of becoming financially free for
Yep.
me, is that I can truly be present with my loved ones, and I don't have to, be so preoccupied with fear or that I'm going
That's
to
right.
miss something or whatever.
Yeah, because when things aren't right, you're there with them, but you're not present with
Not
them.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've
And
all had a lot of time with that. We know what that feels like, and some of you may be feeling that. That's a pain point, people. What we're talking about, we're giving you guys a lot of language and a lot of things that you can talk about in videos relating and referring to people's pain points. And
yep.
really is all you got to do is you got to look at your own life. You just have to look at your own life and learn how to articulate and communicate the pains that are happening in your life. You can't
Absolutely.
just, that's what a marketer's job is. I can't just go boo, boo, boo. We're not cavemen. We have to communicate. My heart is hurting because I'm away from my family every day, working for a boss that doesn't appreciate me, and I feel misunderstood.
Yep.
And do you feel like that too? Am I the only one? And now all of a sudden people are like, fuck no, right? And here we're off to the races.
That's it. But you got to talk to them. You can't talk about your pains. You have to talk to their pains, because they don't, as you say, Dave, all the people out there don't give a flying fuck, pardon the language, but they don't give a flying fuck about my pain and your pain. They only care about their pain.
But Eric's got some hurt feelings today. Let me stop my life and worry about your feelings. No, they're going, I don't give a shit about how you feel, but I feel like that too. So I really need, and they aren't actually saying that, but yes, what's in it for me?
That's exactly it. How do you feel as this person? Not I. That's it. Yeah. What can I say, man?
Look, we could keep talking for hours, but I'd like to have a second round, come back in a month or two. We'll have Roxy reach out to you and find out how you're doing, and come back and continue the conversation.
Absolutely.
If you're willing.
Always willing. You know what? You know my passion, Dave. It's just helping people. And if coming out on a show like today goes out and helps people even have a glimmer of hope that they can actually do something to better themselves, I'd love to.
Well, this conversation today has done way more than that, way more than given a glimmer. I think it shined a big, ridiculous spotlight on a lot of areas that might have been unclear for a lot of folks. So thank you, my brother, and keep up the great work. And, I just am so happy that your story in life is turning out in a positive way, and you deserve it. You're clearly a guy who is a solid, good dude who takes care of his family and deserves all of the success that's coming your way, man.
Thanks. Can I just say one last thing to the audience?
Mm-hmm.
Dave keeps talking about being real. All right. Now, I don't know if you see what's going on behind me, Dave, but it's raw. I don't have a microphone. I don't have a big computer. I don't have nice shiplap board on the wall behind me. I've got raw drywall that I still have to do mudding and taping here. You don't need everything in place.
Are you going to mud and tape that?
That's actually tomorrow's project, brother.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering, like, because now I was like, this cat either just moved on from this room and said, I'm just done with it, or is literally right in the middle of it. And so now I know.
This actually, if you follow my pinpoint there, now I'm not going to show it to you. We bought a 3-bedroom house. We have 3 kids still living at home. Yeah. My wife and I, for the first couple of months, were in the living room upstairs. I built a bedroom down here, and this is half of the bedroom that's going to be my office. So I still have to, I've got half of the room mudded and taped. Tomorrow it's the other half. Then next week we're going to cover everything up, do a bit of sanding, mud and tape again. And man, if you saw my skills, Dave, as a contractor, you would laugh at me. But you know what?
I'm pretty impressed that you're spearheading and leading an addition in this entire remodel. I mean,
do you know what?
Good for you.
If I can, I'd like to send you a couple of pictures personally,
sure,
just of a house that I rebuilt, remodeled, whatever, down south before we moved up here. I did that all by myself with my wife, and on occasion her cousin, who's a contractor, came up and helped us. I'd like just so you can see it.
Yeah, but, I'd love to send them to the email that we've been communicating. I see all those. Roxy just replies to those who are going to be on the show, so just send it there. I'll see them.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, Eric, keep up the good work, brother, and the best to you and your family, man.
Thanks. Love you guys.
Right. See you, buddy. All right, my friends. Wow, what a great conversation with a great guy. And you can go and follow him at Eric W. Becker 71 over on TikTok and join his journey. Learn from the guy. Clearly, he's got a lot of skills in a lot of areas of life, and now he's coming into this industry. And what I see in Eric is something that my wife and I would like to cultivate in our own small children, and that is the ability to be able to get into something and get it up off the ground. You don't have to be the absolute, most knowledgeable person in the world about it. You just got to know enough to be dangerous. You got to know enough to get in and get it done. And that's what I saw in Eric. I saw somebody who is not afraid to go into a new situation, a new trade, and get it, start. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the most knowledgeable. You just got to get in, and you got to have the skill sets to start, my friends. That's a skill set. And he clearly has the skill set to get started. And you can figure all the rest of it out once you get started. You can figure it all out along the path. I promise you, I'm still figuring it out. But he has the ability to get started. And you can tell that whether he's fixing a pizza oven, making a pizza, delivering a pizza, adding an addition to his house, he even said it. He's not the best, but he's got the skill to start it. And if he runs into a problem, I'm sure he can call a buddy. Hey, having a problem here. Don't know what I'm doing. No, right? Call somebody, just like we do. Hey, I got a question. I'm right in the middle of something over here on TikTok. Can anybody help me out with this? Or, right, I want to do this. Let me know who has experience on this. But the question of, I'm trying to get started. I've not started yet. Guys, it's hard to help somebody with that. It's almost impossible. But if somebody calls and says, I'm right in the middle of the shit and I need some help, it's like, coming. And we get in there and we figure out how to course correct or fix the situation. Man, that's easy. But it's hard to coach a guy or a gal who's sitting on the bench, man. And Eric's a guy that clearly likes to be on the field. So if anything, take away from the show this morning that no action, no money, no payoff happens on the sidelines. You got to get started. That's the number one skill. And once you get started, there's nothing you can't or we can't help you figure out. Get your asses out of here and have a fantastic Friday. Be legendary. We'll see you back here on Monday for another episode.